is the Transogen loop, mining, and hostiles. Is this a Jules Vern topic? Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
Jules Vern is on the
Quick and dirty
stage.
yet again. Here is the quick and dirty. Essentially, you have 5 different resources you must gain, 3 of which are 3 different types of mining resource: common, uncommon, and rare transogen. And then there's also going to be 2 different types of resource that are going to come from the auto-attacking hostiles. These are canisters. Very similar to this silent level system, they will be dedicated to your generation. So if you are a G4 player, you must be getting hit by hostiles that are in the level 40 to 50 system, and so on and so forth for all generations. However, the mining can take place in any system. So you can mine common in G3, you can mine rare in G6. It doesn't matter what ops you are as long as your ship can reach there with the warp range that's required. That being said, the higher you go, not only do you have a higher base node speed, but you also have a higher hazard to attack, or that will start to eat away at your hull the minute you enter that system. Quick and dirty 1-minute session on hazards. 20% hazard is going to eat away at your hull. I think it's some percentage every 5 seconds. Usually 1% every 5 seconds for full hazard damage. But essentially what this means is if you have 20% hazard damage coming at you and you have no resistance, you will survive in the system for 41 minutes, 40 seconds before your ship goes kaboom. As long as you are not getting hit or getting damaged by players or hostiles. The best mining bonus is the building itself, the Transogen Forge. Build that, you can get that up to level 5 or level 7 on day 1. That gives you over 2,000% mining bonus on the simplest of resources. That's going to be a huge help to you and start to get you that resource that you need. The auto attackers, you've got 2 types, transports and runners. Transports and runners are going to be in 2 different systems. They're going to give you 2 different resources, both uncommon and rare of the containment module things. Those are going to be fed into 2 different bundles. So you want to be able to hit or get hit by both of those. And most of this is in the chest. So if you're thinking about what crew to send out, well, reminder, you're only going to be there for 40 minutes before you die if you're not taking a lot of damage from the hostiles itself. So I would not worry about loot crews. I would worry about targeting which system is going to have the loot type that you have and is going to, what crew is going to make you survive for the longest amount of time. Last thing I'll say while we're looking at the system map, there is token systems, and these token systems have super nodes, but they have the same auto-attacking hostiles, no bonuses there. But they also have no hazard damage, so you could sit there forever and max your cargo. How do you get the tokens? From upgrading the building, you've got one-time claims, don't know exactly when, roughly 2 per 10 levels. There is no drip at this time. Okay, that is the loop.
So our second bullet point is going to be Transogen loop output. We talked about everything that is coming in. All right, what are we getting? You're doing all this work. You're earning 5 different currencies. What are we getting now? Take a look at your screen. Jules, Transogen loop outputs. What are we doing all this work for?
Okay, you have 5 different currencies, and we'll break down what each one is actually giving you. Your raw common transogen, when refined, gives you the refined common, which is only spent on the building upgrade. Additionally, in this chest, you're going to get Forge Dust. That Forge Dust is what you're going to use to unlock a research in the Star Path tree that allows you to get bonuses when you upgrade your building to certain levels. You want to get that Forge Dust, you want to unlock that research node, and then what you can do with the extra Forge Dust is unlock FKR jump drives. We'll talk about that in a minute. The common actual refined stuff you would spend on the building upgrade bundle. That's what's good there. The uncommon and rare bundles only give you uncommon and rare refined. That's fine. You're going to use that stuff for later. So you still want to get all 3. Now you have the Transogen canister. The canister is the uncommon loop from the transport hostiles. What that's going to give you is even more of the refined uncommon and a little bit of latinum and a little bit of skill points. These are not rare skill points. These are the regular uncommons that you trade in for legacy fleet commander skills. Okay, cool, whatever. Then the rare loot that you get from the runners hostiles will give you rare transogen, some speed ups, sort of meh, but hey, it's a daily drip of speed ups, particularly for Sigma speed ups. By the way, G4 gets Sigma speed ups. I don't know why, but they do. And then it gives you a chance pull at some of these mastery artifact shards. So just that slow drip of the mastery artifact shards. What the rare Transogen and the uncommon Transogen are going to give you, we have artifact sourcing. This sources over 70% of all of the artifacts in the game. That's huge. Almost all of the legacy artifacts, there is several that are missing, but there is almost all of the legacy artifacts in here and several of the new ones. So your common Transogen bundle will give you some of the oldest artifacts in the game. Really helpful if artifacts and formation armadas, the original formation armadas, haven't been a priority for you, Griffin. And then the uncommon Transogen bundle we'll give you some even better ones, including some of the temporal artifacts. Okay. Additionally, all three rarities will give you some consumables. So let's quickly talk about these consumables. You've got three different types of consumables. Specialty ship part efficiency. Here's the list of all of the ships that are included. Some cool new ones that we only see efficiencies for in primes are the Borg Cube and NSCA. And Eviscerator. These ones are really popular right now. Some of the other, some of the people, even high spenders, don't have these ships maxed. So these consumables, 12 hours long, can give you 50% or more, 25% for your NSCA Protector, but 50% for your Eviscerator, 50% for your Borg Cube. That's a huge bonus when there's literally no other bonuses in the game. The next set of consumables are your specialty ship researches. Those are tied to the specialty ship. Their whole research trees, essentially they're going to tie to the currency of those research trees. So in the outlaw, you're looking at those outlaw credits, essentially, is what those are going to affect. And then the big one I want to point out is actually the research speed one in there is great, particularly for G6, 800% research speed. There is no consumable out there that's going to match that. You can run all of the consumables that currently exist and not match 800% research speed. And by the way, this is its own exocomp slot. So you can run this on top of running all of the other exocomps that give you research speed. This is a huge thing, particularly if you're worried about Sigma speedups in G6, or if you are, doing a huge blitz on research, and if you're G5, you don't have a lot of speedups left. That is still going to be huge for you. The last set is the combat buffs. This is FKR reputation, isolated damage, and isolated defense. Now, right now, these are looking like they're lasting around 2 hours. Perfect for a set of arenas if you want to use your isolated damage there. Perfect for, grinding out some rep if you want to use your reputation there. And these also scale by generation. So those are your consumables. You'll be spending all three types of refined isogen or transogen on those. Then I did want to point, if you kind of scroll a little bit to the right, is the FKR jump drive. This is going to be for all rare and epic faction warships. So all the way down from the G3 epics, all the way up to the G6 rares and epics, you'll be able to use that forged dust to unlock a jump drive. And the best part of these jump drives, the juice that they use, mycelium. We've all got banks and banks of mycelium, which has only been used for your disco before, but now 500 mycelium, you can jump your best warship out to wherever you need it to go. So this is a great use, a great quality of life improvement. It uses forged dust, which you will get from the common Transogen bundle.
Guys, that is the quick and dirty on what we're earning here, the Transogen loop output. In a later video, we're going to dive into one of these specific outputs a little bit more in depth. How many different artifacts are available, how many new artifacts are available, and what is artifact mastery? That comes up in a later segment, so stick around for that. Thank you, Jules.